Okay? We need to be talking about ICE agent, the ICE agents and the cowardly policy of covering their faces. Covering their faces. And a lot of them are also covering their identification. These are public employees that are accountable to the public and accountable to Congress. And this idea that we are going to allow some kind of paramilitary force to bloom that is not in any way accountable to the Constitution of the United States, we got another thing coming. Because that right there, that kind of attitude is what is actually anti-American. That kind of attitude is what is actually treasonous, is to attack our Constitution and to attack the obligations that we have in our Constitution, to attack free speech, to attack the powers of Congress, to erode our ability to investigate and conduct oversight. That is what is un-American. And this administration and Kristi Noem spits on the American flag every time she does that nonsense. So I don't want to hear anything about America first. These people and this administration is putting America last by acting like a man is who they are pledging allegiance to. That is not what this country is about. And it will never be what this country is about as long as I'm alive. I'll tell you that much. Anyways, that done pissed me off. So,
first off, let's set the scene. It's 2025 and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the queen of the Instagram story, the woman who can make a policy wonk's heart race with a single ringlit selfie, is out here dropping truth bombs like they're going out of style. She's on her phone, probably in a cozy Bronx apartment, sipping a coffee that's ethically sourced from a co-op in a country Trump couldn't find on a map, and she's had enough. She's seen the headlines, the X-posts, the grainy videos of ICE agents skulking around like they're auditioning for a dystopian reboot of Men in Black. And she's not here for it. Not today, not ever. She's got her phone in one hand, her moral compass in the other, and she's ready to expose what she sees as the rotten core of Trump's mass deportation agenda. And let me tell you, when AOC gets mad, it's like watching a piñata full of righteous indignation get cracked open with a baseball bat. Candy and chaos everywhere. Now, let's talk about what she's railing against, because this isn't just about a policy disagreement. This is about ICE agents, public employees, mind you, people who are supposed to be accountable to you, me, and the neighbor who's still mad about the 2020 election, covering their faces and hiding their identities like they're in a witness protection program for bad decisions. Imagine it, grown adults, funded by your tax dollars, playing a game of guess who with the Constitution. Who's this agent? Is it Bob? Is it Karen? Is it a sentient Roomba with a badge? We don't know, because they're out here acting like they're in a low-budget spy thriller, and AOC is not having it. She's calling it what it is, a cowardly anti-American power grab that spits in the face of accountability, transparency, and everything this country is supposed to stand for. Let's pause for a second to appreciate the sheer gall of it all. ICE agents, these so-called enforcers of law and order, are out here cosplaying as anonymous vigilantes. It's like they saw The Dark Knight and thought, you know what? Batman's got the right idea, but let's make it creepier and less accountable. And AOC, bless her, is like, excuse me, sir, this is a democracy, not a Gotham City fan convention. She's pointing out the obvious. If you're a public servant, your job is to serve the public, not to hide behind a mask like you're about to rob a bank or star in a gritty Netflix reboot of Zorro. The idea that these agents think they can operate like a secret police force, unaccountable to Congress, to the Constitution, to the people who pay their salaries, that's not just a policy failure. That's a middle finger to the very idea of democracy. And let's talk about that Constitution for a minute, because AOC's not just throwing around buzzwords here. She's tapping into something primal, something foundational. The Constitution isn't just a dusty old document that your high school civics teacher made you memorize. It's the bedrock of this messy, chaotic, occasionally inspiring experiment called America. It's the rulebook that says, hey, you can't just do whatever you want because you've got a badge and a bad attitude. It's what keeps us from sliding into the kind of authoritarian nightmare where people disappear in the night and nobody asks questions because, well, national security. When AOC says this kind of behavior is anti-American, she's not being hyperbolic. She's reading the room, and the room is screaming, what the heck is going on here? Now, let's get to the meat of it, Trump's mass deportation agenda. Because this isn't just about a few rogue agents playing hide and seek. This is about a policy that's been sold to the American public as tough on immigration, but feels more like a fever dream cooked up in a Mar-a-Lago ballroom after too many Diet Cokes. The plan, as far as we can piece it together from the X posts and the endless cable news segments, is to round up millions of people and deport them. Just like that. Snap your fingers, wave a wand, and poof, entire communities vanish. Never mind the logistics, the cost, the human toll, or the fact that this country's economy would probably implode faster than a cryptocurrency scam. It's America first, baby, except it's more like America, but only for the people who look and sound like the guy in the red hat. And AOC, God love her, is out here on her Instagram story, pointing out the absurdity of it all. She's like, hold up, you're telling me we're gonna let a bunch of faceless agents run around like they're in a dystopian YA novel, snatching people up without oversight, without accountability, without so much as a name tag? And we're supposed to call that patriotic. It's the kind of thing that makes you want to laugh and cry at the same time, because it's so absurd, so divorced from reality, that you almost have to admire the sheer chutzpah. Almost. Because then you remember the families being torn apart, the kids who don't know if their parents are coming home, the communities living in fear of a knock at the door. And suddenly, it's not so funny anymore. Let's talk about Kristi Noem for a second, because AOC doesn't just call out the policy, she calls out the people behind it. And when she says Noem spits on the American flag with this nonsense, you can feel the heat coming off her words. It's not just rhetoric, it's a full-on roast. Picture AOC at the mic, Comedy Central style, tearing into Noem like she's the headliner at a political roast. Kristi Noem, ladies and gentlemen, the woman who thinks patriotism means turning America into a checkpoint state where nobody knows who's enforcing what. Give it up for Kristi, who's out here pledging allegiance to a guy in a gold-plated golf cart instead of the actual Constitution. The crowd would lose it, because it's true. The hypocrisy is staggering. Wrapping yourself in the flag while undermining the very principles it's supposed to represent, that's not just bad policy, that's performance art. And let's not kid ourselves. This isn't about securing the border, or whatever tired talking point they're trotting out this week. This is about power. It's about fear. It's about creating an us versus them narrative so stark, so divisive, that people stop asking questions and start cheering for the guy with the loudest megaphone. AOC sees through it, and she's not afraid to call it what it is. A betrayal of everything America is supposed to be. When she says this administration is putting America last, she's not just throwing shade. She's shining a spotlight on the fact that this whole agenda isn't about protecting the country. It's about protecting a certain idea of the country, one that's whiter, wealthier, and a whole lot less diverse than the actual America we live in. Now let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't just about AOC versus Trump, or IC versus accountability. This is about what kind of country we want to be. Do we want to be a place where public employees can hide their faces and dodge oversight, where law and order means do whatever we say, no questions asked? Or do we want to be a place where the Constitution actually means something, where Congress can do its job, where people, All people have rights that can't just be swept away because someone in a suit decided they're inconvenient. AOC's Instagram story isn't just a rant, it's a call to arms. A reminder that democracy isn't a spectator sport. You don't get to sit back and let it happen. You've got to fight for it. Post by post, story by story, vote by vote.